and the secret of the convocation. 13 mages, blinded, driven by the greed for divine power, and under the bondage of the Circle. Their armies unleashed death and destruction, bonded with the power of ancient runes, cursed to eternal life and eternal death. Until the last day of the old era had dawned.
So have you come to witness the day of my ultimate triumph, poor old man?
No. To witness your downfall. You cannot win. The convocation is a lie. It will destroy all of us.
So... You shouldn't have come. You really think I care a fig for your whimpering?
Tahira! Rowan sent us. He needs the power of the Rune Warriors. The Northern Realms are in danger.
Rowan knows I will never serve a Circle Mage again. My powers are exhausted. I have seen quite enough misery and bloodshed. Rowan will have to look for somebody else.
That's why he sent us. A very special rune lies concealed somewhere in these lands. We're here to search for it. But we were attacked and Lev is wounded. He needs your help. We need your help.
Then I hardly have any choice. Very well. I will help you. Where is Lev?
I lost sight of him somewhere behind the gate there. I hope he's still alive. These damned orcs.
I'll look for him. You stay here by my hut.
Thank you, Tahira. It's good to have you back with us.
Welcome to the world of SpellForce. In this prologue, we will explain the game to you. Let's start with some general information. The name of the main character in the prologue is Tahira. She is a combination of fighter and sorceress. From now on, we will refer to the main character as the Avatar. Once you've solved the prologue, the game will continue with the avatar you selected before starting the game. Whenever you hold the mouse pointer over a button or an object, a help window with additional information will appear in the bottom left corner of the screen. When you are asked to click on something, this means a click with the left mouse button. We'll tell you about the right mouse button a little later in this presentation. When you click the Options button in the upper right, you can save the game or change the game settings at any point in time. Now select your avatar by clicking on Tahira in the game world. Very good. You can move the view with either the cursor keys or with the mouse by holding down the right mouse button. You can also adjust the view by moving the mouse pointer to the appropriate edge of the screen. A selected unit is marked with a colored ring. Your own units have a green ring. Enemy units a red, and neutral or allied units a blue ring. In the lower left, you can see the currently selected units and some additional information such as name, health condition, and amount of mana. You can select your avatar at any time by clicking on the Portrait button in the upper left corner of the screen. By clicking on the Portrait button with the right mouse button, the view will be moved to the appropriate unit. Move Tahira down the path to the east and through the open stone gate to the Bindstone, a large boulder, by clicking the right mouse button next to it. The Bindstone offers the Avatar an opportunity to connect his rune with this place. Should he perish, he will appear in the last Bindstone used. Enemies are able to sever the connection to the Bindstone. Select the Bindstone and click. At the bottom edge of the screen, you will find the Action bar. A new symbol for Activate this Bindstone should have appeared there. Click on that symbol.
Stay with me, then.
The Bindstone will light up and is now active. You are now bound to this Bindstone. In the lower right, you will find the Overview map. Black areas have not yet been explored and are automatically uncovered when you approach them with units. Your avatar has a greater view radius, so he will uncover a larger area. The dots on the Overview map are in different colors. Continue along the path to the east. SpellForce offers you the option of witnessing the events of the game from different views, including the third-person perspective, where you see the action from a position directly behind and slightly above your avatar. To change the view, press the Page Up key to zoom in and the Page Down key to zoom out, or simply turn the mouse wheel. By moving the mouse wheel downwards or pressing Page Down, the camera will zoom out into an almost vertical perspective. Now, when you move the mouse wheel upwards or press Page Up, you will see the normal isometric views from different distances. Now change to the third-person perspective by zooming in closer. This is only possible if your avatar is inside the field of view. In the third-person perspective, you can control your avatar directly with the cursor keys or with the A, D, S, and W keys. If you hold down the right mouse button, you can change the view direction. Otherwise, follow the path in third-person perspective toward the east to the next stone gate. You can change to the third-person perspective anytime. Change back to the normal isometric view with the mouse wheel. An enemy goblin is lurking around the next corner. Select your avatar and click with the right mouse button on the goblin. Your avatar will attack the goblin. As soon as he has been defeated, we will continue. The goblin's corpse. Take up a position close to the dead goblin and click on the corpse with the right mouse button. You can then see what object the goblin had with him on the left-hand edge of the screen. Click on the shield to take it with you. It will be automatically added to your inventory. The shield increases your avatar's armor class when you are carrying it. With a higher armor class, you lose fewer life points when an opponent hits you with the weapon. To open your inventory, click on the backpack symbol in the action bar, which can be found on the bottom of the screen. A window will open, and on the left you can select the different categories of your inventory. Click on the ring symbol, which stands for equipment. On the left, you now see the unused equipment. In the middle, the objects your avatar is currently using, and on the right, your character's current data. We'll deal with this data later. To equip your avatar with the shield, you must first pick it up with the mouse. Click on the shield and then click on the free section for the left hand beside the torso. Now close the inventory with a click on the backpack or the check mark in the lower right of the window.
I should have stuck with my books. I hope you haven't forgotten your healing arts, Tahira. Help me. Please heal me.
In the upper left-hand corner, you can see a clickable portrait of the avatar. We call these buttons portrait buttons.
I should have please heal.
The blue bar represents mana, magic energy. When a character's mana reserves have been depleted, he cannot cast any more spells. Mana is also replenished with time. Follow the path through the next stone gate until you have reached the wounded Lev. If someone offers you a dialogue, a symbol will float above the character. If this person is relevant to the main quest, it will be an exclamation mark. If the person is only relevant for optional side quests, it will be a question mark. Select your avatar, approach Lev, and click on him with the right mouse button.
I thank you to...
What happened anyway? You're seeking a rune?
Yes, a special, but the ruins are just swarming with orcs. We had to flee. Only Joshua managed to hide. Kaelin knew where your house was. That's why we fought our way through to you. Please, you must help us.
All right. I will fetch your rune. You stay here and recover for a while.
As you command. Take good care, Tahira. Here, this spell scroll. I captured it from one of the orcs. Maybe it will be of some use to you. Keep following the trail. Perhaps you'll run across Joshua somewhere. May the gods grant that he is still alive.
You have a healing spell at your disposal. If you wish to use a magic spell, there are two possibilities. The simplest possibility is offered by the click and fight system. To use this, select Lev. Under your avatar's portrait button, all meaningful actions for the selected target will appear. The blue hand is the symbol for the healing spell. Click on the symbol to heal Lev. The click and fight system can be used in the same way to launch damaging spells or melee attacks on hostile targets. As soon as you select an enemy unit, appropriate hostile actions will be offered. The alternative to this is the classic method. Select your avatar, then click the healing spell in the action bar, and then click on the wounded Lev in the game world. Speak to Lev again. You have received additional experience points and a magic spell scroll from Lev. It contains the Fireball spell. Once you have collected a specific number of experience points, your avatar will move up one level, will become stronger, and will be able to learn new skills. You receive experience points by defeating opponents and successfully solving quests. When you die, you lose a small amount of experience points every time. Next, your avatar should learn the magic spell you have just received. Open your inventory and click on the symbol for Spellbook. On the left, you will see the inventory for Click on the scroll in the inventory to place it on the mouse pointer. Then click any free space in your spellbook. You now have transferred a new spell into your spellbook. You can enter any number of spells into your spellbook, but you can only simultaneously memorize and use 10 of those magic spells in your magic memory. Learn the Fireball magic spell by clicking on the Fireball symbol in your spellbook, and then click on any free space in your magic memory. Now close your inventory. Follow the path until you see the Minotaur. Use the Fireball spell to defeat the Minotaur. Many creatures are partially or completely resistant to specific types of magic. Your avatar can also use rare objects found in the course of the game to protect himself better from magic attacks. Behind the next gate, a fire elemental creature awaits for you. This creature is completely resistant to your fire magic. Continue along the path. Try to use your magic spell against the fire elemental creature. If a creature has resisted a magic spell, you will see white bouncing sparks. After this, defeat the fire elemental creature in close combat.
Rune warriors, stand by me. Enemies, beware.
fire elemental was carrying a hero's rune and 4 objects. Take possession of these. Beside your main character, you now have up to 5 heroes at your disposal. The heroes are your strongest allies and may have magic powers. The hero's rune you just found represents a skilled long-range fighter. The rune establishes the hero's characteristics and abilities. In the course of the game, you will find more runes and also replace some of the older runes. To summon a hero, you must use the hero's rune in your rune table, which you always have with. Open your inventory and go to the category Rune Board. On the left side, you will see your currently unused runes, and on the right, the runes entered in the Rune Board. In the upper half of the rune table, you will find the spaces for the hero's runes, and below the spaces for workers' runes, subdivided into light and dark races. Depending on which level your avatar has, you can apply up to 5 runes at once. Click on the rune of the hero and place it in one of the empty fields of the rune tablet located at the top.
On my command. To adventure.
Now you will have to arm the hero.
Into battle we go.
You should have received a bow, a dagger, and 2 pieces of armor. Go into the inventory and select the category Equipment.
Here, for freedom.
On the right side of the hero, you will now see 2 portraits. Select the lower portrait and give your hero the 4 new objects from the left side of the inventory. The bow must go into his left hand. That's the space on the right-hand side.
Close the ranks!
On my command. Let's go.
If your avatar or a hero cannot use an object, it will be marked with a red background.
Now.
Follow the path to the Great Monument.
On my
This
command,
is the
to
hero's
adventure.
monument. Go right up to the hero's monument, select it, and click on the rune symbol in the action bar. Select from the hero. The symbol of a hand appears in the selection menu.
Stay with me, man.
Every time you call upon a hero, or later on, even a worker, you lose a bit of your rune power, and calling upon them takes a bit longer every time, too. Rune power regenerates itself automatically in the course of time.
Very well.
I'm ready.
Now you can summon the
Follow
hero.
me.
Select the monument and click on the symbol for the hero in the action bar. After a few seconds, the hero should
Now.
appear. A second portrait button for your new hero should now appear in the upper left. You can now command the hero. If you want to select several
Shall not
units
fail.
simultaneously, you can hold down the
Now.
left mouse button in the game world
Quickly now.
and drag a frame around both characters. As soon as you release the left mouse button, the selection is established. You can
Here.
combine combat units to form groups. To do this, select the units and click on one of the small buttons at the top of the screen in the middle, or hold down the control key and select a number key from 1 to 6 for the
I shall
respective
not
group.
fail. Here.
Once you have defined a group, a portrait button will appear at the top of the screen with the number of units in the group. The functionality of the portrait button is identical to your avatar's.
Here.
You can now very quickly select a group by clicking on
Let's
the
go.
appropriate portrait button or pressing a number key from 1 to 6. Follow the path further toward the south.
Destiny awaits.
You have a fight with the undead ahead of you. Together with your hero, you can
On
win
my
this
command.
fight. Use your magic and defeat the undead. Well done. One of the undead was carrying a valuable gem. Take it along
Shall
with
not
you.
fail. I shall not fail.
Should you want to further test your fighting skills, turn north here. Otherwise, follow the path farther toward the south. Follow
We're
the
under
path
attack.
until you find the merchant. Merchants can be identified by the rotating
now,
coins
for
above their
freedom.
heads.
Enemies beware.
You can buy and sell all kinds of objects from a merchant.
I shall not fail.
Go up to the merchant and speak to him by clicking
Now,
on
Rune Warriors, stand by me.
the window will appear in the merchant's menu.
Here. For the order. I'm ready. Yes. On my adventure. Into battle we go. Rune Warriors, stand by me. At arms, men.
At your service.
On my command. Shall not fail. I'm ready. Freedom. On my command. We're under attack.
At your command. An enemy attack. At your service.
I shall not fail. Quickly now. Attack. I'm ready. The lines must hold. Now.
We'll be done. The rune's orders.
On the left of the menu, you will see your objects, and on the right, the merchant's objects. Your available money and the price of the selected objects are displayed in the middle. 100 copper coins make 1 silver coin, and 100 silver coins make 1 gold coin. Objects in SpellForce are divided into 5 categories. The 5 symbols beside your inventory and the merchant's inventory will be dark, if you or the merchant have no objects in this category. You want to sell the gem to get money for a purchase. Select the lowermost symbol to open the category Quest and Value Objects.
Very well.
Click on the gem. The object you are offering will be marked green, and in the middle you will see the price the merchant wants to pay. Click on Sell. Now you can buy something else with the money. Click on the Runes category and purchase the Human Worker rune.
Destiny awaits. Destiny awaits. I'm ready.
Conclude the trade by clicking on the check mark on the lower left in the window or by pressing the Escape key. Open your inventory, select the category Rune Board, and place the Human Worker rune in the slot with the human portrait on the lower left
Yes.
of the rune board.
Forwards. Follow me.
Close your inventory. Follow the path
Yes,
to the
now.
bind stone.
Quickly now.
Select the bind stone and activate it using the action.
Yes, they're all well. Were you able to find out where the rune is, Joshua?
In the orcs' camp. I think it is in possession of their leader. Be careful. Those beasts are tough. You'll have to prepare yourself well. Once you've conquered them, bring the rune to me. I will turn it over to Master Rowan.
You can travel from one bind stone to another
Here.
bind stone you have already activated. To do this,
Quickly now.
select your avatar and go to the bind stone. Click on it with the right mouse button and select your destination. You can try this out now if you want. When you are
Master of the
done,
rune, let's
follow
get
the
cracking,
path
ready
to
to
the
go.
human monument.
Break's over, time for work. Ready to go. Your orders? Here we go.
Speak to Joshua,
Here I am.
the man
On my way.
directly beside the monument.
Here we go.
You should now have received a quest. Open your inventory and select the quest book page.
Yes. Here we go. Yes. I'm on it. Ready to go.
In the middle of the window, you will see all your current uncompleted quests, and on the right, a detailed view of the currently selected quests.
At your service. Ready to go.
You have received the quest,
Off to
Lost
work.
Rune. When you click on
Here
this
I am.
quest, the individual steps
Off
of
to
this
work.
quest will appear on the right. Already completed steps will be displayed
At your
darkly.
service.
When you hold the
Yes.
mouse pointer over one of these individual steps, a help window will additionally appear in the lower left in case you have forgotten
On my
something.
way.
Close your inventory.
Ready to go.
Go to the monument, select it, and click on the rune
Off to
symbol
work.
in the action bar.
Master of the rune. On my way. I'm on it. Yes. Break's over, time for work.
The
Ready to
moment
go.
you occupy a worker monument,
At your
things
service.
get serious. Normally, when enemies discover your newly established settlements, they will do all they can to destroy you as quickly as possible. On this map, however,
Building
you can
completed.
take your time.
Yes, I'm on it.
You can now
Let's
summon
get
human
cracking then.
workers. Select the
orders?
monument and click on the worker symbol in the action bar.
Master of the rune.
The worker will appear in a couple of seconds. You may also click the symbol several times to order more workers.
Ready to go.
Produce at least 5 workers.
As good as done. Here I am.
When you have selected the monument, you will see numbers indicating your population limitations below. The upper number indicates how many workers of this race you currently have, and the maximum number you are allowed to have. At present, you can produce up to 20 workers. The maximum number of workers increases when you construct larger headquarters. On the upper right, you will now find a portrait for human workers.
Here I am.
The number indicates how many human workers are currently not doing the job. You can select free worker with a click on the portrait button.
Ready to go. Let's get cracking then.
Workers can collect different resources depending on their race. Human workers can chop trees, collect stone, or mine ore. To the left of the monument, you will find a stone quarry, and to the right, an ore deposit. The next forest is located to the west.
Here I am.
To have workers collect a resource, select one or more workers and then click with the right mouse button directly on a tree, a stone, or an ore deposit. Only workers may figure in this selection. On the top edge of the screen, you will see the amount of resources you already have acquired. You can use resources to construct buildings or summon combat units to a monument. Select workers and send them with the right mouse button to chop down trees, collect stone and mine ore until you have at least 50 units of each of these 3 basic resources.
Building completed. Ready to go. Break's over, time for work. Yes? On my way. Break's over, time for work. Here we go.
Very good. You now have sufficient resources to construct your first buildings. Select a worker and click on the building symbol in the action bar. A selection of buildings will appear. Click on the woodcutter hut and select a site in the game world near the forest to start construction by clicking the left mouse button. The selected worker will now begin to erect the building. You can select additional workers and send them to the construction site with the right click, should you want construction to progress faster. Now select some other workers and build a quarry near the stone resources and a mine near the iron. In each of these resource buildings, up to 5 workers can advance to the status of so-called craftsmen. Craftsmen have different clothing and special tools and are twice as efficient as simple workers. When you select a finished building, then you can see how many craftsmen are already assigned to this building in the selection window. When you click an empty symbol, and there is another free worker available, he will be assigned to the building. When you click an occupied symbol, a worker will be released. Those workers that construct a building automatically take over the free jobs in the building insofar as they are available.
Building completed.
When you send a worker to a building with the right mouse button, you can fill free jobs. This way, workers who, for example, chop down trees, will automatically look for free jobs in woodcutter houses and start doing them in a short time. Wait until all 3 buildings are finished. Should construction work fail to continue on the building, this means you have mistakenly removed all the workers from the construction site.
Ready to go. Understood.
Now your resources should increase much faster. Keep an eye on the individual stocks and, if necessary, assign your workers to other jobs.
Ready to fight away, sir.
In order to recruit a larger army, you will need food. Humans are very flexible and are able to catch fish, hunt or breed animals, and grow grain.
Building completed.
In the area surrounding
Awaiting
the
your
base, you will
orders.
find a number of animals. Build a hunting lodge to gather food. Additionally, construct a small headquarters so that you will have up to 30 workers at your disposal.
Master of the rune. As good as done. Master of the rune.
You can send up to 5
Yes,
workers
on my
to
way.
the hunting lodge to
At your
collect
service.
food
Right then.
faster. The amount of the food you have stored
Ready to
determines
off to
the
work.
maximum size of your army. The flags on the buildings
As
show
good as
you
done.
whom the buildings belong to and if workers
Master
are
of the rune.
currently active in this building. If you look carefully, you will see that the lake behind the
Off to
human
work.
monument is full of fish. There are also some berry bushes on the bank of the lake, but these serve exclusively as food for elves. Now you should do something to defend your settlement. Build 2 towers in the area around the stone slabs, as enemies might come from this direction.
Let's get cracking then. Master of the rune. As good as done. Here we go. Yes, I'm on it. At your service. Break's over. Time for work.
Ready to fight,
Moving
sir.
out.
Sir.
All
yes,
right.
sir. Ready to fight, sir.
Right away, sir.
Ready for action.
Eyes open, sword ready.
Understood.
Sir.
Master of the rune. I'm on it. Ready to go. Let's get cracking then. Here I am. Off to work. Here I am. Building completed. Ready to go. Let's get cracking then. Building completed.
Some
Master of the
goblins
rune.
are attacking your settlement. You will soon hear an alarm
Understood.
signal and see a red symbol on the overview map indicating the site of the attack. Defend your town.
Yes, sir. Sir, moving out. Sir. Awaiting your orders.
The attack has been
All right,
thwarted.
then.
By the way,
Eyes open. On my way.
Sword
whenever
ready,
you hear
sir.
an alarm
wounds or-
signal,
Yes.
you can use the space bar to immediately switch to the site of the action.
Yes.
If your
on my way.
towers are damaged,
I
you can
shall
have
not
them
fail
repaired.
our near.
Select one or more workers for the job and
Here.
click with the right
Attack.
mouse button on
Quickly
the
now.
damaged structure.
Now.
You can not only summon workers at a human monument, but also human warriors and mages. Single warriors summoned at the human monument will not be as strong as your avatar or your hero. With sufficient
ready.
resources,
Let's
however,
go.
you can produce whole armies.
To adventure.
Now it is time to build an army. Firstly, you will need to construct a fort.
Never surrender.
Here.
Sir.
Weapons
yes,
and
sir.
armor for
Understood.
battle units will be manufactured in this fort.
Ready to fight, sir.
If you have several forges, you can
Ready
produce
for action.
units faster.
Understood.
Battle units are also summoned to human
Ready to
monuments.
go. Off to work.
If you would like to establish a rally point for new units, select the human monument and click
Yes,
with the right
sir.
mouse button on the desired
They're attacking.
destination.
Awaiting your
The
orders.
appearance of a little flag indicates
Ready to
that the
fight, sir.
summoned combat units will assemble at this point.
Balloon call. Very well.
Select the human
For the glory
monument
of our
and
near.
summon
They're
at least 3 recruits and 3 scouts. If you are unable to produce units, you will find text marked in red in the help sheet, which specifies the user. A missing or unoccupied building, or insufficient resources. The orcs have their own scouts always on the lookouts for enemies.
Freedom.
Ready for
One of
action.
these scouts discovers your
Sir.
settlement
Yes, sir.
and your warriors. He will return to his headquarters and sound the alarm. A scout is about to discover your settlement, which is shown by a yellow symbol appearing on the overview map.
Destiny awaits.
Destroy the opponents before they can get away.
Adventure. Follow me.
You may not be attacked now. The enemy headquarters will eventually notice the missing scout
Understood.
and start searching for him. You have, however, gained time and can use it to quickly produce more scouts and recruits. It is important for you to destroy the buildings in the enemy camp as quickly as possible, because new opponents are continuously being recruited there. To produce a larger army, you will need larger quantities of food. Select your human monument.
Here we go. Let's get cracking then. At your service. Break's over, time for work. Let's get cracking then.
The lower numbers in the selection window on the left indicate how many combat units you have, as well as the maximum number you can support. The current maximum is 10. Inside the headquarters buildings, you can use food to increase the maximum size of your army. Select your small headquarters building. In the action bar below, you will now see a
Building
symbol for
completed.
food. When you hold the mouse pointer
At your
directly
service.
above it, the
your
costs for this
service.
increase will show up in the help window. When you click once on the symbol, the maximum number of combat units will increase from 10 to 15 for 100 food units. The increase from 15 to 20 units already costs 200 food units. Increase the maximum number of combat units to at least 20 units by clicking the symbol twice. If the symbol is darkened, your hunters have not acquired sufficient food, and you will have to wait a while.
Your orders? No problem.
With the small headquarters, you can support a maximum of 30 combat units. Medium-sized or
Ready for
large
action.
headquarters, which will become available later, afford additional
Understood.
possibilities to increase the maximum level. If you later decide to play with
On my
2
way.
allied races, then the maximum number of combat units for the entire
That
army
way.
applies, with the races also sharing their food.
Yes?
Produce additional scouts and recruits and destroy the orc camp in the east. Secure more resources and ensure you have sufficient food. You cannot search corpses or chests when enemies are near. There is a chest in the orc camp. Stand close to it with one of your characters, and you will be able to open the chest by clicking with the right mouse button. Take possession of both plans. You have just found the construction plan for a new building, and the unit plan for the human unit clerics. Open your inventory and go to the plans page. Here you have an overview of which building and unit plans you have for all 6 races.
Here I am.
On the right-hand side in the window, you can select the race. Select humans.
Let's get cracking then.
Place the unit plan in a free space among the units in the lower line. You can now produce this unit at your human monument, provided
for
you have the
exterior the
required
area.
buildings and sufficient resources.
At your service.
Place the building plan in an empty slot on
no
the line
problem.
of building icons.
Here I am.
The first line may be
Yes,
full,
on my
so
way.
you might
Here we
have
go.
to press the right arrow.
Ready to go. Let's get cracking then.
Now your workers are
open,
able to
sword
construct
ready,
the
sir.
Temple of Light.
At
Close your
service.
inventory.
Very well, off I go.
If you want to summon human units with magic powers, you will need Arya, a magic
Ready to go.
victory.
Breaks over. Time
Near
to
the Orc camp, you will find an Arya spring.
work. Building completed.
Simple workers are not able to collect Arya. You will need a special building for that purpose. Put up an Arya shrine near the Arya spring and the Temple of Light in your main
Here
settlement.
I am. As good as
To
done.
select this building,
Here
you
I
must
am.
click
Off
on
to
the
work.
pointer on the right of the building selection. Up to 5 workers can work in the Arya shrine and collect Arya.
Upgrade complete. A new
The
skill
Temple of
is
Light
available.
serves to invoke units with magic powers, comparable to the Forge for weapon production. Several temples allow you to invoke magic units more quickly.
Ready for action. All right.
Additionally, you can buy upgrades at the Temple of Light. Upgrades are possible on several buildings, and they
Awaiting your
generally
ordering
improve
out.
your units as well as offering other benefits. If you select the temple and have sufficient resources, you can click the clerical blessing symbol below. All the clerics you summon after this will have a shield and sizable mana reserves at their disposal. Beside the Arya Spring, you will see Lenya plants and moon silver. Both resources cannot be used by humans, but play an important role for other races. Produce
Yes.
at least 3 clerics. Should you be unable to produce the unit, the button will
Yes,
be
sir.
darkened. In this case, move
All
the
right.
mouse over the button
What
and
does the
follow
room
the
desire?
instructions in the help
Shall
window.
not follow me.
In case you
Awaiting your
already
order.
have the maximum number of units,
Shall
you
not
can
follow me.
select units and destroy
Eyes
them
open,
by
sword
using
ready,
the key
sir.
K. The next thing we want to do is gear up iron production a little. Put up a smelting works as close as possible to your mine building. The mine craftsman will now deliver the mined ore to the smelting works. where it will be processed further. This means you will now receive the double quantity of resources per delivery. Simple workers can only deliver their resources to headquarters and monuments. All the craftsmen can deliver their iron ore to a smelting works,
Yes.
their wood to a sawmill, their stones to a stonemason's hut, or their food to a storehouse, which then doubles the amount of each delivery.
Let's go.
Build a food storehouse.
Now.
When the food storehouse is finished, you can use food to regenerate the life points and mana reserves in
For the
your
order.
summon units. This is especially important if you summon several magic units. Your avatars, your heroes, are able to regenerate
Eyes open, sword ready, sir.
To adventure. On my command. Let's
summoned
go.
at least 15 combat units.
For Aonir.
If you follow the path past the workman farm,
Never
as soon as you reach sight, your mind transfer your avatar, the hero, with at least 15 combat units. As soon as the lookout has discovered you, a yellow warning signal
I'm
will
ready.
appear on the
For
overview map.
Aonir.
ready to fight, sir. Eyes open,
The
sword
orcs
ready,
have been
sir.
alerted to your presence and will send out an assault wave to confront you. Destroy the orcs and their camp.
They're attacking. Eyes open, sword ready, sir. Facing the enemy. Ready for action. Securing the area.
Destiny waits. Let's go.
Congratulations.
Yes.
If you now
Forwards.
look